Border guards near Bakhmut captured an enemy stronghold and took prisoner 5 army fighters of the Russian private military company Wagner. 20 more invaders were destroyed. As reported by Ukrinform, the State Border Service reported this in Telegram. Yesterday, a combat reconnaissance patrol of the border guards raided the positions of the invaders near Bakhmut. Our defenders captured one of the enemy strongholds, entered the enemy's rear and attacked the invaders, the message reads. Near Bakhmut, the Russian occupying forces are strengthening their positions with motorized rifle and tank units. Intense fighting continues. Serhiy Cherevity, spokesman for the Eastern Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said this on the air of the telephone from a Ukraina reporter. It can be stated that near Bakhmut, together with the criminal organization Wagner, the occupiers are strengthening their positions with motorized rifle and tank units of the regular armed forces. And, of course, regular Russian troops provide artillery and aviation support for both the Wagner troops and motorized rifle troops, Cherevity said. He noted that the Russians, without a doubt, are suffering heavy losses in the Bakhmut direction. They are constantly rotating forces and attack, and fresh forces are being brought up. The small city of Bakhmut is facing a fierce Russian onslaught from 3 sides, with Ukrainian forces fighting there, claiming they have just a 4-hour life expectancy. Vladimir Putin's butchers have been attempting to claim the eastern city for more than 6 months, but have been held off by stiff Ukrainian resistance. But Ukrainian defenders continuing to push attack back. The harrowing reality of the battle can be seen in footage from the ground. According to soldiers on the front line, avoiding being killed is near impossible, as they are often outnumbered 10-1 by Russian troops. One soldier, Andriy, told CNN, "We were fighting for about 10 hours in a row. And it wasn't like just waves, it was uninterrupted, so it was just like they didn't stop coming. It was about 20 soldiers on our side, and let's say 200 from their side." He described fighting the convict army as a scene from a zombie movie, adding, "They're climbing above the corpse of their friends, stepping on them." Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials have said they believe Russia will time a fresh offensive in eastern Ukraine to coincide with the first anniversary of the outbreak of full-scale war. Next week will mark 12 months since Russia launched its invasion on February 24, 2022. But Western analysts have evaluated Russia's army to be unprepared for such a push in the eastern Donbas region. On Sunday, the British Defense Ministry said the Russian army was suffering from a lack of trained personnel and resources, along from the front lines, as well as from poor coordination. Russia's unprepared army will fail to launch a successful offensive that has long been predicted for the coming weeks, said a retired U.S. general. Moscow's untrained forces have been given shoddy equipment, placed under poor leadership, and have been deployed to the front lines without an understanding of what they were to do, Hertling said at that time. He argued Russian forces were hurrying to mobilize, whereas Ukraine was making preparations for planned offensives in the coming weeks and months. At the moment, units of PMC Wagner report control of the eastern, southern and northern outskirts of Bakhmut. However, based on the briefings of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation and the presented map, so far Bakhmut is controlled by Ukrainian troops. Western media, in turn, previously stated that new deliveries of weapons to Ukraine are unlikely to lead to the fact that the armed forces of Ukraine will retain control over Bakhmut, since in this case the armed forces of Ukraine may suffer a tactical defeat in other sectors of the front, and, therefore, with a degree of probability, Bakhmut will still be left by the armed forces of Ukraine. Although no specific dates are called, Russian forces have changed their tactics as the first anniversary of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine approaches, according to Kyiv. On Thursday, the Ukrainian Air Force reported fresh waves of missile strikes, hitting different regions of the war-torn country throughout the night. Writing in an operational update on Facebook, the Air Force said Moscow had targeted critical infrastructure. Russia launched 32 missiles, it added, including 8-caliber missiles from a frigate in the Black Sea. Ukraine's air defense systems intercepted half of the missiles, the Air Force said.